Before we jump straight into the video, a small announcement. Lawfren Elite 2027 badge is out now. This badge prepares you for 8 3-year LLB entrance examinations across the nation, and it has around 115 plus full length mock tests and a countless number of sectional mocks. You will get proctorized all India mock tests, you will get detailed audio video review on your NLSAT Part B solutions, you will get monthly current affairs compendiums, you will get dedicated NLSAT Part A and B handbooks with solved PYQs. So, what are you waiting for? Contact us immediately or visit our website www.lawfren.com for more such details, for more such experiences. And this YouTube channel already has documented the experiences, the journeys of a lot of previous year toppers. Do refer to them as well. And as we always say, keep learning, always aim to grow, and always aim to be. Hello there everyone, welcome back to Lawfren. So, हम जो पढ़ रहे थे अपना Lawfren's फ्री NLSAT 2027 लेक्चर, आज हम उस लेक्चर में E2 में हैं. E2 is the second lecture for Part B legal essay writing. In the first lecture, we understood that why at all there is this essay section in the Part B of NLSAT exam. हमने समझा कि argumentative essay लिखते कैसे हैं and what are the core fundamentals of an argumentative essays. For which things are you marked for? कहाँ तुम्हारे marks कटते हैं? Structure कैसा होना चाहिए? हमने वो सब चीज़ें देखी. आज we will all again go into those things only, but in a deeper level, because I got a lot of DMs on Instagram ki since we could not contextualize all of these things, we could not understand it that well. So the goal of this lecture is very simple. We'll revise a few things that we learned in the last lecture. We will then go ahead and apply it to actual essays, and in addition to that, there is a homework as well. So with that said, guys, let us go ahead and see that how do you actually build an essay for any given topic. दिमाग में क्या आता है जब कोई ऐसे का टॉपिक आता है, हाउ शुड यू राइट दैट, हाउ शुड यू नॉट राइट दैट, वो सारी चीज़ें देखते हैं. सो दिस इज फ्रॉम इट्स NLSAT's ओन नोटिफिकेशन. NLS का खुद का जो नोटिफिकेशन है NLSAT के लिए हर साल जो आता है, दिस इज द लेटेस्ट नोटिफिकेशन. अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन इट केम टू essay writing, what did NLSIU say? The students will not be tested on their knowledge of the issue. The student will be tested on their knowledge of the issue, the ability to make cogent written arguments, and the ability to write a well-structured essay. Knowledge of the law is not expected. Keep that with you. Knowledge of the law is not expected. If you know the current affair wali cheez, one, and secondly, how do you argue? Using law, facts, so on and so forth is not that needed. If your essay is structured, if your arguments are sound, and if you have basic preliminary knowledge about kya ho raha hai, which you will always be having, obviously be having, with those things now settled in our mind, let us see how and what amount of law is allowed, because it is not rewarded. See, if you go ahead and start an essay, even if you don't start an essay but write something in this format, 19.2 permits reasonable restrictions on speech. Let's talk about protest and free speech, because that has been a consistent thing that we have been doing over the last 2 lectures, and that has a huge possibility of coming in the NLSAT 2027 exam as well, given the nationwide mood regarding student protests. So Article 19.2 permits reasonable restrictions on speech, including for defamation. So the state may curb protest speech that harms reputation. Essentially, in the last lecture, as we also discussed, and in this lecture, I will reiterate, this line is completely and very, very descriptive in nature. You need to go ahead and write a line that is in some way very argumentative. The distinction that we drew in the last class, how a law student writes and how a humanities student write. So a society that lets reputation silence dissent has decided that comfort outranks accountability. Speech that names power is the speech a democracy most needs to protect. So it doesn't matter if you are a law student or a humanities student. This is the same content written in this format, and this is even better. This is even better because this is argumentative and it is structured as they want it to be. You may not know what Article 19.2 is, which you will be knowing given that you are watching our lectures consistently, given that you are reading the news. But even if you do not want to put that on your answer, this is a very good way, a very public policy, socio-political way how you can put your point through. So how exactly the entire spine works, we have discussed. There should be relevance, there should be a debate, you should mention both sides, there should be actual arguments, matlab there should be a like a contradiction or a stifle between the both sides. You should put your stance, that should come ahead of it. This is all the things that should be there. And there will be two arguments. Understand that a nervous student may write it in this format. They first may write in a very descriptive fashion what the question is about. Then they will go ahead, write what I believe about it, and put on the argument. That is not how you should do it. Your stance should come in the very first line. Your argument. This is my argument, and this should be done given that this happens. Name the tension, the counter argument. From the very first instant, the counter argument should be mentioned. The other side might come up with this, but we'll look into this. Argument 1, argument mechanism. Argument B, different mechanism. The counter argument, elaborated. The rebuttal that concedes something and weighs your argument against the counter argument, and a conclusion. When you do all of these things, you write a very good answer. So this is the structure, the 7-level structure that is actually asked out of you in the NLSAT exam. So एक क्वेश्चन है, देखो 3 तरह के आंसर यहाँ पे लिखे गए हैं. Which answer is good, which is not, वो देखते हैं. Should protest speech be treated differently when alleged to be defamatory? When a public speech is said to be defamatory, should it be treated differently because of the sole reason that it has been said in the protest? So what are a few things that you should keep in your opinion? That government should bring up a balancing act. Don't bring the very vague terms onto this without showing the actual harms that each of these things will be causing, or the actual benefits or protections that each of these things need. The first answer, C. Protests are important in a democracy and defamation is also bad. Both sides have some points. Government should make a balanced law that protects everyone equally and maintains harmony. It is very generic. Government should make a balanced law. A is bad, B is bad, but A has good points, B has good points. Government should make a balanced law. School ke bacche to nahi hai hum. We need to have a stance, and the stance should be defended. Protest should get more protection because free speech is a fundamental right. Defamation law can be misused to silence critics. Therefore, protest speech is more important than reputation. C. It has a very good stance herein. It has a very good stance. Protest ko zyada ye milna chahiye. But it rests on a right that nobody actually disputes. It never says that how defamation law does the silencing. It is missing the mechanism. यही चीज सही है, यही चीज को हमको लिखना है, बट मैकेनिज्म ऐड करना है. इट जस्ट सेज कि डिफेमेशन लॉ कैन बी यूज्ड टू साइलेंस क्रिटिक्स. प्रोटेस्ट के बाद डिफेमेशन लॉ कैसे यूज हो सकता है टू साइलेंस क्रिटिक्स? दैट थिंग इज हियर इन accountability, because protest is against power. So that same power which is very problematic, the same power which is very crony in some sense, can use these kind of law in the name of defamation to stifle this protesting voice, and that should not be done. That is how this thing is written, and that is how you should go ahead and write. So there are 8 steps. So how do you go about it? Understand that you need to put up the relevance first. You need to put up the relevance first in today, and this is something wherein you need to put up the stance as well. In today's let's say in today's environment wherein these many protests happened, a very particular debate has arisen before us ki whether this thing protest and so on and so forth, which should be kept. This should be a 2 lines job. Herein you are just showing that you understand the question really well, and you are redrafting the question into your senses, into your debate ke points, your debate ke metrics. Fir you set up that my stance is this. One side might argue this, other side might argue this. But my stance को पहले को shift कर देना, ठीक है? And then go ahead with your arguments and conclude. So this is the thing that we have already discussed. Why are we going about it again? So the introduction, when the introduction happens, so you need to state that अभी का relevance क्या है इसमें, and actually what the debate is about. Be very careful. Do not make the information a data dump. The information should be your views. Data dump or examples, facts should support your points. According to 2011 का सेंसस, इंडिया में इतने इंटरनेट यूजर्स हैं, इतने नीति आयोग बोलते हैं, ये सब सर्विसेज नहीं. Pure point. As the state moves towards welfare, identity, and voice into a digital rail, citizens' access to what they are owed now depends on a system they cannot see and cannot appeal. Therefore, the question stops being about technology and becomes one about power. This is the introduction. Then you can either state that digital ये इतना ज़्यादा है, so on and so forth, or straight up go to the arguments, your stance in this. I want to put up this. So argument 1 and argument 2 को mechanism कैसा रहना है, क्लेम होना चाहिए, मैकेनिज्म होना चाहिए, कैसे काम करता है मैकेनिज्म, कैसे काम करता है हमने बता दिया। इस क्लेम को सब्सटेंशिएट करने के लिए, जैसे इन द प्रीवियस सेक्शन व्हेन वी सेड दैट डिफेमेशन लॉ इज वेरी एंटीथेटिकल टू लेट्स से द राइट टू प्रोटेस्ट, and defamation law actually stifles the dissent. How does it do it? Because the entire protest is against people of power manage law, people of power may stifle all of those things. And let's say जैन साई बाबा केस or anything, ये डाल दो उसमें एक एग्जाम्पल और डाल दो, वो और स्ट्रॉन्गर बन जाएगा। देन एविडेंस देना है, रियल हो गया, इमेजिनरी हो गया, as I just said, or any kind of analogy, and the consequence that if this happens, since we are in a completely we are at a stage where all our conversations are held digitally, there is a huge threat to that as well. So this is how you put off argument number 1. The argument number 2, their best objection. Argument number 2 generally is like a counter argument to their best rebuttal. Take that seriously and say that we concede this, but even if we concede that, compare the cost. Okay, ये issue है हमारे side में, but understand that ये issue उस side में identical losses. This issue also persist in their side as well, or this issue may come up in their side as well in the long run. ऐसे बोल दो, and फिर बोलो कि therefore if we weigh down the harm cost analysis benefit और वो सब कर देना, what is the benefit of what side, what is the loss that what side is facing, then you will be able to serve your position in a much better way in that. So कैसे चलता है ये हम बता चुके हैं, and कैसे mechanism भी work करती हैं, we have already discussed these things. These are consolidated things that you may need to take a screenshot of, revision notes के रूप में these things will help you. So first two sentences decide how you are read. There should be a thesis sentence, it should not be definitional, and there should be a concrete case, and reject the framing before you answer it. You need to state it that what things you are accepting, what things you are rejecting, the counter argument you need to take into account essentially. There is a draft essay that I have, a short one I have with myself. We'll be reading over this essay and see कि how essay needs to be written, so that तुम लोगों की जो इतनी सारी queries थी कि essay एक दिखता कैसे है, we'll be getting over this essay, and with that I have a homework question as well that you guys have to deal with. We'll be going over that as well. See, digital constitutionalism, technology as the people's servant, not the silent master. Do you agree with this statement? Every few years, a new system promises to deliver the state more cheaply, and every few years, a citizen discovers that the cheaper has quietly meant less answerable. ठीक है? That is the real question behind digital constitutionalism. The thesis statement, the relevance part, बोल रहे थे ना कैसे लाएंगे? How do you like characterize the essay? This is how do you do it. The real question behind digital constitutionalism, and I agree with its central claim, as governance moves on to data, the old constitutional promises of freedom, equality must move with it, or they do not survive the journey. The first reason is that efficiency and accountability are not the same virtue. Herein, you put your stance as well, you agreed with your claim, and you said what you want out of this. The first argument, efficiency and accountability are not the same virtue. A system optimized for one will sacrifice the other unless told to. यहाँ तक claim हुआ. अभी mechanism देखो. When a benefit is granted or refused by an algorithm, the refusal arrives with no reasons and no official obliged to give them. Mechanism, how it actually happens. वहाँ पे people of power ये कर रहे थे. यहाँ पे accountability और efficiency, how they don't go in hand. कैसे? जैसे benefit और refusal जो भी होता है, जैसे algorithm से grant होता है, it does not come with, it is arbitrary. There is no officer obliged to give them. Even there is a wrongly flagged pensioner. Example आ गया, real हो गया, analogy हो गया, that we all discussed previous slide में. Cannot cross-examine a database. A person who is suffering from this cannot cross-examine a database. The error does not stay as an error. It hardens it to a status, and the person loses not an appeal, but the idea that the appeal was ever available. समझे? How it happens, कैसे mechanize हुआ, कैसे example आया, analogy आई, और कैसे again that was concluded. That entire claim, an argument was concluded as a consequence, with a consequence. That is how all of these things are met. The second part of the essay operates on those things only. The strongest case on the other side. Second argument needs to take on their side as well. Is not that efficiency does not matter, is that it matters so much that efficiency matters so much. A state that reaches 100 crore people cannot handshake every claim, and systems that make delivery possible are the same systems critics distrust. Slow the machine in the name of dignity, and the first people to suffer are the ones waiting the benefit. So the critique क्या है कि efficiency is very very necessary. तुम जो बोल रहे हो कि ये सब people face करेंगे problems, these are the people who are waiting in first in the line for the benefit, and if they get a benefit in a very slow machinery wherein the system is not optimized, digital constitutionalism is not there, so they are anyway suffering. The suffering is in both the way. The other side is saying that इसको कैसे counter rebut करना है, तुम देखो. The objection has real force, and it is precisely why constitutional values must be built into the design. The choice is not between a fast state and a fair one. The choice should not be between a fast state that is not fair and a fair state that is not fast. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. It is between values that is written into the system at start, when they are cheap, and values retrofitted after a court forces the issue. ठीक है. So essentially it said that the choice is not between two values, it is between how the entire machinery is fitted from the very first, and then it suggests a few things that okay, technology should not be a servant, but the servant is only safe when the household knows how to give orders. The court should intervene, court should so on and so forth. So that is how the digital constitutionalism ka essay went in. Agar wo essay started something like this, digital technology is very important in today's world, the government has launched many schemes in India, went ahead and explained what digital technology is, and usse lata कि digital constitutionalism क्या है, हो गया बेड़ा गर्क. 15 मिनट में इतनी सारी चीजें नहीं लिख सकते, and you need to write it ऐसे very crisp. तो तुम्हें argument centric essays लिखने हैं जिसके ऊपर you just keep a thin layer of introduction, which again is just to attract relevance. So we saw how do we need to go about it. We need to take a side. So does every paragraph carry an argument? We need to check or that, and we need to check if we are not vomiting a lot of facts anywhere. The best essay that we just saw, उसमें facts बहुत कम थे, rather there were analogies, so on and so forth, but we use the arguments. So this is your homework for the next class. You can write your answer in the community tab or the comment section, and before the next lecture I will be checking it. With that said, guys, these are a few helpful notes for you that you may refer to as well. This was E2 lecture. Before the next lecture, please write in the answer in the comments box. I'll be giving personal feedbacks on the answers. This was Surya from Lawfren. I hope your preparation is going really good. Keep your tab in, and as I always said, aim to be.
Are you preparing for 3-year LLB entrance exams but feeling overwhelmed and unsure where to start? Do you struggle with finding the right resources, guidance, and clarity all in one place? Tired of institutions selling just mock tests or rebranding old materials meant for other exams and charging a fortune for it? Introducing Lawfren, your one-stop solution for 3-year LLB entrance exams. Lawfren brings you cutting-edge tools to supercharge your preparation. With our exams portal, you can participate in live All India tests and instantly see your rank, giving you real-time insights into your performance. Practice questions on individual topics, sharpen your skills, and get exam ready with confidence. Lawfren, aim to be.